Hello everyone, we're here at Detention Falls in northwest Tasmania, which is a waterfall that, well, it's sort of closed because they took out the lookout about 10 years ago because they decided it was unsafe for some reason. So it's not really publicised anymore, but it's still publicly accessible. There are a few things to be aware of. So we're parked on Hawley's Road in a little pull out. There's a little sign on that street saying the falls are not down this road, private use only. But if you head down this way, that road says private just on that sign there, but here it says falls track. So we can get through this way. Just got to make sure you shut all the gates and stuff, but obviously. So you pretty much just have to walk along the fence line here. Something to be aware of is there was an electric fence right after the gate back there, which is a bit strange. This is actually a private property, but obviously access is allowed because otherwise they wouldn't have the sign up. I do find it unusual that there was a properly established track through here. I'm not sure, they might have used to have an old fence sort of marking out the trail a bit more clearly, but if it was always just sort of a walk through a paddock, it's a bit of an unusual track for parks to ever be promoting. We've now hit the Detention Falls conservation area. Ah, come on. And there's a nice dead cow right there, which is a rather unpleasant smell. So we actually detoured around this point to avoid the dead cow, but the track heads along the fence line from that gate, and there's a nice sign saying the viewing area is closed, which we'll be ignoring because it's stupid. Obviously it hasn't been maintained in a long time, but the track's still in pretty good condition through here. Got a bit of debris and stuff over it, which is to be expected, but easy to follow, and there's lots of markers like that which help guide you. I don't think we're too far off the lookout area now. So we're now skirting the edge of a steep drop off into the river's gorge, and there's still a fair bit of evidence of old track work along here. A couple of points just before here it was a little unclear as to where to go. But if it doesn't really look like a track, just backtrack a bit and you should pick it up again. It's actually a bit sad that parks have let a place like this go to waste because it's meant to be a pretty impressive waterfall. So we've reached the Detention Falls. As you can see, the lookout is indeed gone, and you can see exactly where it was. You can still get down there and get a good view of the falls, which I will do, and then I'll head around that way, I reckon, to try and get to the bottom. So I'll see you just there. So this is the Detention Falls. Very impressive waterfall. Looks to be about a 30-metre drop. But I'll be able to tell a bit more easily when I get down to the bottom. Obviously you can't go down right from here because it's just a sheer drop. But if I backtrack a little ways, I reckon I can get down without too many difficulties. Good flow of water actually, better than I expected. So that's always a positive. And I'll see you when I find a way down to the bottom. I'm actually still in the lookout area, but I think I might duck down right here. Looks like a reasonable route down. I'll tell you if it's no good, but there's a bit of a drop off to start. Okay, so I've hit the Detention River at the base of the falls, which is just through there. However, as you can see, I have to cross over the river here, as you can't really get through that side. So you probably couldn't do this excursion if the water was that high, but today I don't think I'll have any difficulties getting across, and then I'll just try to head around that side to the falls. So I'll see you there. Well, I've made it to the base of Detention Falls. It's a pretty impressive waterfall. It looks slightly shorter from down here, maybe 25 metres at a guess, 20-25 metres. But it's a good view. The walk down was very difficult though, because you have to cross the creek twice. I'll give you a look. So I just came across there, and I've got over here via some very slick rocks, and I had to cross just downstream as well. I don't think it's possible to go up that way, although I'll see, because I'll try it on the way back. So to be honest, I wouldn't really recommend coming down here. The view is good, but it's also pretty good from the lookout, so unless you really want an adventure, I'd be happy with the view from up top. The water here is very, very brown. Some of the most tannin stained water I think I've ever seen, and it's really foamy too. So it's sort of an unusual situation where the cliff is almost whiter than the waterfall itself. Okay, so I'm back on the main track now. I actually found a slightly easier route up, although it was still extremely steep, but it meant I didn't actually have to cross over the river at all, and I avoided some of the worst parts of it. I pretty much climbed just directly up across from the waterfall, and kind of ended up right below the little rocky outcrop where the lookout used to be, and sort of went around the left side of it. Look, it was really steep, but it's definitely doable if you're fit enough. That said though, the view from the lookout's good enough to not really have to bother going down to the base unless you really want to. Yeah, as I said, it's a bit of a shame that Park have let this place go, and it's a bit of an unusual kind of entrance to the place too, because there's a sign saying Falls Track, and then maybe 10 metres later there's an electric fence you have to duck under, so access is a bit strange. But anyway, worth a visit if you're in the area, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.